and gentlemen, welcome to the Hawaii UBBS Summit, where we're joined by a very distinguished guest who knows a lot about the telecom sector in the Middle East and the UAE. Sir, if you would please introduce yourself for us.
Thank you, and thanks for Huawei for hosting us today in this distinguished summit. My name is Jasim Alawadi. I am the Vice President of Network Infrastructure and Services in Du Telecommunications.
Now, Jasim, the UAE is already in a leadership position when compared at least to the Middle East in terms of providing a good consumer experience in terms of broadband. Now, tell us a little bit about Du's strategy in terms of fixed network evolution to support this idea of an anytime, anywhere consumer experience.
Actually, I would like to rephrase your question a bit.
Yes.
Du and the UAE are not leading only in this region. Actually, we are leading in our infrastructure worldwide. When you look at our footprint in deploying fiber networks, and when you look at our footprint in deploying different type of technologies, we are always leading. We are always seeking for the best when it comes in offering all type of technologies, especially that it's in the top agenda of our government and even our company that we should transform United Arab Emirates to a smart country. And that requires a lot of demand when it comes in building fixed network infrastructure. That's why we have taken a lot of steps several years back when we have decided to build our GPON infrastructure, and when we have decided even to deploy our fiber everywhere towards each and every consumer. And that project was awarded to Huawei, and this project is rolling since 2 years, and it is ongoing. And today, I can say that our fiber footprint and enterprise is covering almost 85% of our network. That's why we have launched last year a consumer product of 1 gigabit, which is the highest in the region. And it is really competing with a lot of big countries when it comes to broadband. And this year in our agenda, we are also having a lot of trials on 10 gigabit per consumer, which is really something tremendous, and it's transforming the full services toward our consumers and providing really high-speed broadbands to cater for all the demand that is coming in the coming years.
Now, obviously, the UBBS Summit is ultra high-speed broadband, and Du is investing tremendously in the capacity. The infrastructure is there. The speed is there. How does Du then translate it into a consumer experience where consumers can access and consume content on demand as they want? How are you creating that link?
Actually, we are working in a lot of different aspects when it comes to that part. Today, we have productized a lot of our broadband services as packages of 100 meg or 1 gigabyte, and then we build on top of those a lot of managed service when it comes to managed Wi-Fi, when it comes to IPTV and video on demand, and providing the best latency towards our customers so that they can enjoy whatever type of video on demand services, whether it is from our platform or other platforms, and where they can enjoy even online gamings. You know, you cannot neglect today the online gaming part. There is a huge community of online gamers, so that's why latency and high broadband is really required for all those people.
Now, video is obviously a very hot topic at the moment, and it's a medium that is drawing subscribers and is helping telecommunications providers improve their ROI. So what's Du's strategy to sort of capitalize on this medium to improve their broadband subscribers for fixed broadband as opposed to mobile broadband?
For us, it's a very simple equation. We should always be prepared ahead of the game. That's why, as I told you previously, we have invested a lot in our infrastructure, and we are prepared for any kind of services that will come. Today, you know, 2K as video, it's providing the customers what do they need. But still, customers' demand are more, and they are looking at 4K, 8K is as well now being discussed, 16K is being discussed. So we cannot wait for this stuff to come and then we prepare the infrastructure part, because it requires a lot of time. And really you will be so late. So that's why whatever infrastructure we have prepared in the last 2 years, it can provide the 4K services and it can provide it as well smoothly. So we are prepared for anything that will come in the market. We are prepared for any content provider who want to host and who want to provide 4K on top of our network.
Now, Dubai is yet again leading the way in the Middle East, and also not just in the Middle East. And there's been, in terms of smart government and in terms of becoming a smart city.
Yeah.
It's part of the city strategy. It's been laid out by the leadership. Dubai is going to very soon start becoming a smart city. Now, one of the things that we need to look at is that smart cities inherently need to gather, move, transmit and coordinate a phenomenal amount of data for the intelligence to work. Now, in terms of fixed infrastructure, what sort of investments is do enabling to support the move to smart cities and for big, large-scale sort of events that are coming up in the horizon, say Expo 2020, which will draw 25 million people into this city?
As I have said even previously, we have already a huge fiber footprint on ground. And smart cities, basically, it's connecting all those devices together, which is our core business, and we are so good in this part. Especially the telecom operators, when it comes to building infrastructure, whether it is fixed or whether it is mobile, it's in our DNA. Linking them together, from my point of view, would be the easiest part. Then gathering all of those information toward a common platform where everyone is using and where everyone can use, whether it is from the government sector or whether it is from the individuals themselves, will be the part where it requires a lot of collaboration and a lot of standardization within the city itself. So that's the part where we are really heavily engaged with a lot of different entities, and we are part of standardizing this stuff. But when it comes to infrastructure, I can tell you we are really well prepared and we can link all those devices together.
Now, we've spoken a lot about next generation architecture. In that regard, could you share with us DO's plans in terms of SDN, NFV initiatives and innovations?
The good thing that in DO, we are always leading things in the industry. And we have taken a lot of steps when it comes to SDN and NFV. And we were so aggressive in implementing them even before time. Although a lot of things are not yet well matured, but wherever we believe that really we can implement SDN and NFV, we are moving ahead without a question, because it makes a lot of sense to remove all of the hardware and having a software that can orchestrate your full network. But this will happen gradually. We cannot say today that we are going 100% full-fledged with SDN and NFV, because there are still things that are not yet matured from technology perspective. But wherever the technology is matured and wherever we see that there are really good chances and return of investments will be tremendous and OPEX reduction will be really magnificent, we are moving ahead with no question. That's why we were one of the first who have done the TISDN test in our backbone with Huawei. Plus, we were the first to test the virtual CPE, and we are moving ahead very soon in our plans and implementing the virtual CPE, because those are the two areas where we find really the business case is solid and really things can move forward in the coming years. And moving ahead in the coming few years, we will do this more and more, and the virtualization will take more place in our core networks as well. So this is our strategy and how we are moving forward.
Media consumption, video consumption, the growth of broadband and the growth of 4G.
Yeah.
Normally we say, oh, look ahead 10 years, but in your industry, I'm only going to say, look ahead 3 to 5. What trends do you see coming up? What's next around the corner?
Honestly speaking, there are things that are really changing each and every minute. The demand of broadband and the demand of video is becoming a necessity. It's not a privilege like it used to be. Today you can see kids 7 years old and 6 years old and 10 years old. They are consuming a tremendous amount of videos. On my personal level, I'll tell you a story. I have a smart TV in home. And I was surprised that day that my children, they never used the setup box that I have installed of the TV. They are only watching YouTube in that TV, only. This really shows you that the new generations are attached to video content that is online more than even watching the normal TV. For that makes the burden a lot on our shoulders. As leaders in this industry, we should make things really happen ahead of time. So that's why we are investing a lot when it comes to infrastructure. We are not planning things for the coming 10 years because it is useless. You should plan things each and every day. You should look at each and every change that happens. Maybe 10 years back, when someone has a 2 meg or 1 meg service in home, man, that was wow. Today, 2 meg do nothing. Maybe 100 meg in the coming few months will do nothing. So that's why we should be prepared. And I am sure and we are taking a lot of steps at that direction. And I hope that we are prepared. And I am so confident in the way that we are heading. And I am so confident with the partners that we are dealing with that we will make this a reality on ground. And we are really ahead of the game as of today.
Perfect. Thank you very much for joining us, Mr. Jasim. An absolute pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Alan. Thank you.